This is 5th grade Excel, lesson 69, and let's get this out of the way here. Come on. Okay. Alright, we're going to be learning about adding and subtracting fractions in word problems. And here's our first problem. No, I don't think that is our first problem. Let's go back. Okay, here's our first problem. Cecil bought a 1/4 pound, 1/4 pound of apples and 2/3 pounds of pears. How many pounds of fruit did he buy? Well, if this number here was 2 and that number here was 4, how many pounds would be 2 plus 4 is 6? So it doesn't change just because it's a fraction problem. You're still going to add those together. And so here's the show work of how to do the fraction problem. 1/4 and 2/3 being added together. 1/4 is equal to 3/12 because you're going to first figure out what the common denominator of 4 and 3 are. You're going to skip count by the multiples of the larger number. Remember to find a common denominator. The larger denominator is a 4, so you count 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. And as you count each one, you ask yourself, does 3 go into that number? So the first count of 4 is 4, and 3 does not go into 4. The next count is 8. 3 does not go into 8. The next count is 12. Yes, 3 goes into 12. So 12 becomes your common denominator right here. Let me make this a little bit bigger so we can see it. Clear that off. I'm going to make this a little bit larger. All right. And I write the 12 for both of those. And then what I'm going to do is multiply this times whatever it takes to get 12. And 4 times 3 is 12. So 1 times 3 is 3. Here, to go from 3 to 12, I'm going to do times 4. So 2 times 4 is 8. And then I'm adding them together. 3/12 and 8/12 makes 11/12. Make sure you have a label with that. For some reason, in fraction and mixed number word problems, kids always forget the label or they get the wrong label. It's pretty easy to normally tell what the label is because the numbers in the problem have the label right after them. So see if you can be one of the only kids that does that correct. Number 2, go ahead and try this one on your own. Pause the video, turn it back on when you're ready to see the solution. All right, Floyd ran 1/2 of a mile on Monday and 3/4 of a mile on Tuesday. How far did he run in all? Which means that I'm adding these together. And I'm adding 1/2 and 3/4. And I have to find a common denominator. The biggest denominator in this is 4. And I'm going to skip count by 4s. First count of 4 is 4. I ask myself, does 2 go into 4? And yes, it does go in evenly. So that is my common denominator. And now to go from 2 to 4 here on the top fraction, I multiply by 2. 1 times 2 is 2. 3/4 is equal to 3/4. There's no converting that you need to do. It's the exact same fraction, 3/4, 3/4. Now what I'm going to do is add these together. 2/4 and 3/4 is equal to 5/4. And that's an improper fraction. So I need to change this to a proper fraction by doing 5 divided by 4. 5 divided by 4 is 1. And there's a remainder of 1. We keep the same denominator, 1 and 1/4. So the answer is 1 and 1/4. And again, 1/2 of a mile, 3/4 of a mile, 1 and 1/4 miles is your label. Don't forget the label. Make sure you get the right one. All right, go ahead and try 3 and 4. Pause the video until you're ready to see the solution. It says Pedro bought 2 1/6 pounds of cherries and 4 1/2 pounds of bananas. How many pounds of fruit did he buy? Again, we have to add these together. So we have 2 1/6, 4 1/2. Add them up, and wow, I'm going to run out of space there. Oh well, biggest denominator here is the 6. Skip count by 6s. The first count of 6 is 6. You ask yourself, does 2 go into 6? The answer is yes. Goes in evenly, so my common denominator is going to be 6. 1/6 is still equal to 1/6. 2 times 3 is 6, so 1 times 3 is 3. And then add these up, and you get 4/6 here, and 2 plus 4 is 6. So the answer is 6 and 4/6 pounds. And later on, you're going to be reducing this fraction. You can divide both of those by 2 to get it in a simpler form and make that 2/3. So that would also be a correct answer of 6 2/3. Marla bought 4.5 gallons of paint. She used 1/8 of a gallon. How many gallons of paint does she have left? In this case, this 1/8 of a gallon is going away from that 4.5 gallons. So we're going to be subtracting. We have 4 1/2 minus 1/8. Common denominator, 8 and 2. Common denominator is 8 on that. So 1/8 is equal to 1/8. 2 times 4 is 8. So 1 times 4 is 4. Subtract. 4/8 minus 1/8 is 3/8. And 4 take away nothing is 4. So the answer is 4 3/8 gallons. All right, go ahead and try these two problems. Add up the check answer and see if you got it right, and then turn on the video just to double check your work. Suzanne bought 7 6 pounds of pork and 3 2/3 pounds of veal. How many pounds of meat did she buy? It's an addition problem again. We got 7 1/6, 3 2/3. Common denominator, 6 and 3 is 6. 1/6 is 1/6. 2/3 is 4/6 because 3 times 2 is 6 and 2 times 2 is 4. You're going to add these together to find out how many total pounds of meat she bought. Comes out to be 5 6 and 7 and 3 is 10. 10 and 5 6 pounds. Again, don't forget your label there. And the last one, Victor bought 5.5 gallons of water. He drank 3/6 of a gallon. How many gallons do you have left? So that means this part of it is going away. 5.5. He's taking away 3/6. We're subtracting. And common denominator of 6 and 2 is 6. 3/6 is equal to 3/6. And 2 times 3 is 6. So 1 times 3 is 3. We have 3/6 take away 3/6. Do not write 0/6. It's just nothing. 5 take away nothing is equal to 5. So the answer is 5 gallons. And that's it for this lesson. Thanks for watching.